Comparing and commenting on amounts. Too little. Read the following sentences. Personally, I feel that there is indeed too little open space for the residents. We use too little before open space because the noun space is uncountable. There are too few school places in Cheung Chau, and some students have to travel to Hong Kong Island to go to school. We use too few before school places because the noun places is countable. Talking about amounts. Too. We can use too many, too few, too much, and too little to talk about amounts. We use too many and too few with plural nouns, for example, too many competitors or too few prizes. Too much and too little with uncountable nouns, for example, too much pressure and too little time. We can also use too many, too few, too much, and too little on their own when the noun is understood. For example, there are 20 competitors in the 100-meter race. That's too many. Or, we only have 50 liters of water for the competitors. That's too little. We use too many and too much when there is more than we need of something. We use too little and too few when there is less than we need of something. For example, we can't start cooking yet. We have too much butter and too many eggs, but we have too few chocolate drops and too little flour. Below is a table of what we need and what we have right now for reference. We can use far and much in front of too many, too few, too much, and too little. For example, we have far too many eggs and much too little flour. For countable nouns, we say far too many or far too few. For uncountable nouns, we say far too much or far too little. Task 1. Fill in blanks using enough or not enough, too few or too many, or too little or too much. Answers. Number 1. In Hong Kong, there are too few or not enough adoptive families for children with special needs. Number 2. Too few people are willing to adopt children with special needs. Number 3. The government has done too little to revert the situation. Number 4. The government offers too few programs to help these children fend for themselves. Number 5. If these children cannot be adopted, they have to face too many challenges in their lives. Task 2. Exams are important for every student. So what should we remember when we are preparing and taking exams? Read the following passage. Fill in the blanks with the words given. Some words may be used more than once. A few. Enough. Moderately. Not enough. Too little. Too many. Too much. Many. Answers. Remember to answer the questions that you were asked. Every year, number 1, Too many candidates do not read the questions carefully enough and therefore fail to answer questions adequately. The most important tip is answer the questions asked. Number 2, too many candidates do. Number 3, not spend enough time reading the questions carefully, and they just write down everything they know about the topic. Everyone should spend. Number 4, a few minutes reading each questions very carefully before they start writing. Time is very important. You should not spend. Number 5, too much time on one question, and number 6, too little time on the others. If you do this, you will not. Number 7, not have enough time to complete the exam. You should spend some time to get to know how many questions you have to answer. If you don't, you may answer number 8, too few questions, and lose marks, or number 9, too many questions, and lose valuable time. You should not study too heavily the night before the exam. Instead, you should study number 10 moderately, and make sure you have number 11 enough sleep. Remember to have a good breakfast before you leave home. Task 3. Proofread the following sentences. Answers. Number 1. If you go to a country where too few people speak your language, use English. Number 2. There are too few boys in the class. Number 3. People feel unsafe because there are too few policemen in the streets. Number 4. There is always too little money in my wallet. Number 5. There are too few new books in the library. Number 6. I feel sick because of too little rest as per these days. Number 7. The football team always loses because it has too few good players. Number 8. As there is too little time left, we cannot copy the article one more time. This is the end of the recording. Do the following exercise to test yourself. Goodbye.